If you listened to Chicago Public Radio this past Saturday morning, you may have heard the comedy news quiz, Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. What you couldn't have known is that our camera was there when the show was taped. Our producer, Jay Shefsky, is a longtime fan of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, and he jumped at the chance to look behind the scenes.
From NPR and Chicago Public Radio, this is Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. I'm Carl Castle.
So that's what Carl Castle looks like. If you're like me, you've known this dignified NPR voice for years.
And here's your host at the Chase Auditorium in downtown Chicago, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Carl.
Now, if you know Peter Sagal, on the other hand, chances are you are already a fan of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you, everybody. We've got a great show for you today. Big shout out to Hezbollah for helping us avoid the midsummer news hole doldrums.
Each week, the show is taped downtown at the Chase Bank Auditorium. There are panelists and phone-in contestants and questions about the week's news. Some from the front page.
So who was the special guest who couldn't quite get his message across to President Bush?
That was the Prime Minister Maliki from Iraq.
Right, exactly, yes.
And other stories come from who knows where.
So, whose sexually threatening cleavage will soon be on display at the Museum of Sex in New York City?
Well, it being New York City and all, I would guess is she the junior or senior senator?
To find out how they prepare for each show, and in truth to get a chance to meet Carl Castle, I asked if I could watch them write this week's script. All right, so watching people write isn't that exciting, but the good news for us is that after a week of this, they have a script. And they come together over an elegant meal and tear the script apart.
Researchers tested a group of people for various mental skills after sleeping in the same bed with a partner and sleeping alone. The men who slept alone did much better at the tests. Not the women, though, for some reason. So guys, now you have an excuse to be out the door before they get to the words, "let's cuddle." That's not that funny, is it? No. Over the course of the week, we probably read 1,000 news stories. And by the time we're all done, and the show is edited and broadcast, maybe we will actually mention 8 of them. The Museum of Sex has decided to honor the sexual icon from New York with a provocative, unauthorized bust of her bust, among other features. So now anyone who wants to see what Bill has lost interest in can pay the museum a visit. Is that mean?
Yeah.
It's mean, but it's Hillary.
What other figures are in the same exhibit with Hillary Clinton in the Museum of Sex?
Well, I think there's one of Bill Clinton behind her checking out the other statues.
I was going to say.
She can take it. She can handle it. She's heard worse, I'm sure.
Now, if you think that Peter Sagal and Carl Castle write the show each week by themselves, the rest of the people in this room would be eager to set you straight. But also chiming in this week is the guy who created Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, Doug Berman. You may have heard of another little NPR show he launched, Car Talk.
NPR came to me and they said, will you develop something for After Car Talk? I said, how about retirement? That's what I was going to develop for After Car Talk.
Very good, Rusty. Now, let us move on then to your next quote.
Oh, say it ain't so, Floyd. Say it ain't so.
That was a blogger named Bob LeDrew, one of the many people expressing dismay at the news that a man named Floyd Landis may have cheated when he did what?
When he won the bike race in France, the Tour de France.
Right, exactly, yes. It was such a great story. Homely guy named Floyd. Just like Lance Armstrong, he conquers severe medical problems to win the Tour de France, thereby allowing Americans to pretend to care about bicycling for another year. What a great story. Homely guy named Floyd, who just like Lance Armstrong, conquers severe medical problems to win the Tour de France.
Homely? Do I have to say he's homely?
Yeah,
Well,
that's kind of a
yes, he is a pretty homely guy.
shot.
According to you, Peter.
I'd say he's homely.
After a while, you develop a sense of what a Wait, Wait story is going to be. Stupid criminals, embarrassing places on your body to find small animals, politicians getting caught with people other than their wives or perhaps outside their species.
Back in 2002, Congress passed a bill that required the administration specifically...
But as for the hard news stories, they say that some weeks lend themselves to humor better than others.
You know, it's funny, last week was great, because last week we had all the hilarity at the G8, all the bizarre things that President Bush did. We devoted, in fact, and we do this rarely, the entire top of the show, the first 3 questions, that one news story, all the things that happened to the G8. This week is tougher. As an honest-to-gosh war broke out once again between Israel and, well, just about everybody. This week the news is dominated by some really horrific stuff. And obviously, there's not a lot funny there. However, the Israelis were kind enough to stop bombing Beirut while she was there, leading to a widespread outbreak of Condoleezza Rice lookalike contests all over southern Lebanon.
I'm just wondering if this is just kind of a bummer story to start with.
I'm not sure we need this question. It's just not that funny to me at this point. Sometimes we come out of a read-through and we're like, oh my gosh, the entire top of the show is disastrous. It doesn't work at all. And we spend the next hour just totally tearing everything up and trying again. And we'll find out how it's going tonight. Luke, thanks to an inventor named Richard Deutsch, the next time you go into a men's room, the urinal might start doing what?
Singing?
Close. Close. It will be talking. Be talking urinal. If your local restroom operator has installed the Wismark urinal communicator.
Boy, the boys in marketing worked hard for the name, didn't they?
The next time you visit the restroom, you will hear advertising messages, such as, hey, now that you're ready for another beer, let it be Lowenbrow.
Do you have to prepare for this?
I do. Here, would you like to see my list?
She's amazing. This is over-preparing now.
Every week, I go through all the newspapers, and I make a list of possible stories that might make the cut. Now, frequently, half the time, they don't ask me. And I get really upset, and I'll go, you mean they didn't do the pig caught in the outhouse? I can't believe that's a perfect wait story.
My preparation is basically, I have a People magazine in my bathroom that I've read like 4 pages of this week, and I read Humor in Uniform from Reader's Digest.
What if they had celebrities or comedians doing jokes in the urinal? Well, at least it could be funny.
Also, Roxanne,
Talking urinals isn't funny enough? I don't care if they read 3 chapters of Leviticus. That's pretty funny.
not a region of our bodies that we want so much joking about.
Yeah.
Just as a heads up.
Coming up, without a makeover, Chutes and Ladders just can't compete with Super Monkey Ball. We'll find out which classic toy has adapted to modern times in this week's Bluff the Listener game. Call 1-888-WAIT-WAIT to play. We'll be back in a minute with more of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me from NPR, National Public Radio.
For Chicago Tonight, I'm Jay Shefsky.
And you can listen to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me Saturday mornings at 10 on Chicago Public Radio. And to find out how to attend a taping, you can go to WTTW.com and click on Chicago Tonight.